Hi, I'm Rich Brown, Senior Editor for CNET. Today we're going to take a look at the Velocity Micro Edge Z55. So this is an editor's choice winning gaming PC. This configuration costs about $2,300, and we like it because it can play pretty much any game out there at super high resolutions and great image quality for a relatively affordable price. Now, of course, we say relatively because coming in at over $2,000, it obviously puts it in a very niche category. You have to be a pretty dedicated gamer to consider a PC like this. But the fact that this desktop competes with PCs that cost about $5,000 suggests that it really is a great deal. So if you're familiar with Velocity Micro, you should recognize this case. It's got the hard lines and sort of austere look we've come to love. Now on top of the case here, there's a Blu-ray drive. It's also a DVD burner. There's a media card reader here, and around the side there's an analog audio jack as well as some USB ports. Now the back of the case looks pretty straightforward, but actually there's a nice assortment of connectivity here. You got USB 3 and USB 2, as well as FireWire and eSATA. Now we're not really seeing those legacy data ports anymore, so it's nice to see them here. For audio, you get SPDIF digital audio output as well as 7.1 analog jacks that we're used to. And on each of the two graphics cards, you have two DVI ports as well as a mini HDMI output. So inside, the Edge Z55 is as clean as we'd expect from Velocity Micro. There's a liquid cooling unit here going down to the CPU, and that's a Core i7-2700K. Velocity Micro has overclocked it to 4.9 gigahertz, so it's almost a 5 gig machine. Here you've got two graphics cards. They're GeForce GTX 560 Ti cards. It's the 448 core variant of those cards, so they're nice and fast, and you've got an extra fan blowing air onto them. Now one thing you want to keep in mind is the system is actually kind of noisy. You've got a fan here venting down to the graphics cards, fans on the graphics cards themselves, as well as a fan here in the liquid cooler. Now for data storage, you've got three hard drives installed here. There's one standard terabyte drive for basic storage, as well as two 60 gigabyte SSD drives for boot up and fast game access. You also have room to add two more drives if you want to. Down here on the motherboard, you can see there's two memory sticks. There's 8 gigs in the system already, and you have room to add two more if you want to. So if you follow our gaming PC coverage, you might recognize the system has a similar configuration to a Digital Storm PC we reviewed last year. It comes in at about the same price, and it has that same laser focus on gaming without some of the higher end performance concerns you see from the more expensive systems that cost about $5,000. Instead, you can spend about $2,300 and get a system like this one that's super fast and will play pretty much anything out there at high resolution and great image quality. So I'm Rich Brown, this is the Velocity Micro Edge Z55.